concession after concession, and Israel facing threat after threat. They deserve to know that America will be there to help secure. They're being surrounded now on all sides by enemies. They have to worry now about their peace agreements with Jordan and with Egypt, and they need to know that they've got the U.S., the superpower, the leaders of the free world, being on their side, knowing that they will not be destroyed, as Ahmadinejad, those in Iran, want to see them wiped off the face of the earth. Don't think that Ahmadinejad would stop there at Israel. They'd be coming our direction too, so it's in our best interest to help protect Israel. We need to do, though, judges, we the people need to rise up, saying we'll take a stand for Israel, we'll be on their side here, flirting with disaster here and not defending Israel. And anyone who studies history, studies the Old Testament, studies geography, and understands that Israel now is surrounded by enemies at all times, it should be now that America takes a stand in defending our friends in Israel. And now, more than ever, we should be standing strong with Israel and saying, no, you don't have to divide Jerusalem. You don't have to divide your capital city.
Israel is the strongest ally that we have in the Middle East. If you're giving the West Bank and Gaza and East Jerusalem to the Palestinians, what do they give? I mean, Israel has absorbed all the Jewish refugees. The Arab states are not absorbing the Palestinians.
I don't support that kind of foreign aid at all. But when it comes to Israel, no, I stand strong with Israel, and unapologetically, I say that America should keep the strong democratic ally that we have there in the Middle East and allow for protections around Israel. Think of what this state, Israel, has gone through, and what they have suffered through, and what they have triumphed over. It is real telling about their tenacity and their character, and it's just one reason, that character, as to why it is that we want them as our friend.
Let me turn to Iran. Do you consider a nuclear Iran to be an existential threat to Israel?
I believe that under the leadership of Ahmadinejad, nuclear weapons in the hands of his government are extremely dangerous to everyone on this globe, yes.
So what should we do about a nuclear Iran?
We have got to make sure that these weapons of mass destruction, that nuclear weapons, are not given to those hands of Ahmadinejad.
What if Israel decided it felt threatened and needed to take out the Iranian nuclear facilities?
Well, first, we are friends of Israel, and I don't think that we should second-guess the measures that Israel has to take to defend themselves and for their security.
So if we wouldn't second-guess it and they decided they needed to do it because Iran was an existential threat, we would be cooperative or agree with that?
I don't think we can second-guess what Israel has to do to secure its nation.
So if it felt necessary, if it felt the need to defend itself by taking out Iranian nuclear facilities, that would be all right?
We cannot second-guess the steps that Israel has to take to defend itself.
We talk on the anniversary of 9/11. Why do you think those hijackers attacked? Why did they want to hurt us?
You know, there is a very small percentage of Islamic believers who are extreme and they are violent, and they do not believe in American ideals. And they attacked us. And now we are at a point here 7 years later on the anniversary in this post-9/11 world where we're able to commit to never again. In order to stop Islamic extremists, those terrorists who would seek to destroy America and our allies, we must do whatever it takes, and we must not blink, Charlie, in making those tough decisions of where we go and even who we target. As for our right to invade, we're going to work with these countries, building new relationships, working with existing allies, but forging new also, in order to, Charlie, get to a point in this world where war is not going to be a first option. I believe that America has to exercise all options in order to stop the terrorists who are hell-bent on destroying America and our allies. We have got to have all options out there on the table.
What happens if the goal of democracy, Governor Palin, doesn't produce the desired outcome? For example, in Gaza, the U.S. pushed hard for elections and Hamas won.
Yeah, well, especially in that region, though, we have got to protect those and support those who do seek democracy and do seek protections for the people who live there. And, You know, we're seeing today, in the last couple of days here in New York, a speaker, a president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, who would come on our soil and express such disdain for one of our closest allies and friends, Israel. And we're hearing the evil that he speaks, and if hearing him doesn't allow Americans to commit more solidly to protecting the friends and allies that we need, especially there in the Mideast, then nothing will.
And you know what's interesting about this is that Netanyahu yesterday made it so clear that Israel sees Hamas as the equivalent of how we saw Al-Qaeda or how we see Al-Qaeda.
Right. How hard do you think President Obama will be to defeat in 2012?
It depends on a few things. Say he played, and I got this from Buchanan reading one of his columns the other day, say he played the war card. Say he decided to declare war on Iran or decided to really come out and do whatever he could to support Israel, which I would like him to do. But that changes the dynamics in what we can assume is going to happen between now and 3 years. Because I think if the election were today, I do not think Obama would be reelected. But 3 years from now, things could change if on the national security front.
But you're not suggesting that he would cynically play the war card.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying if he did, things would dramatically change if he decided to toughen up and do all that he can to secure our nation and our allies. I think people would perhaps shift their thinking a little bit and decide, well, maybe he's tougher than we think he is today, and there wouldn't be as much passion to make sure that he doesn't serve another 4 years.
I believe that the Jewish settlements should be allowed to be expanded upon, because that population of Israel is going to grow. More and more Jewish people will be flocking to Israel in the days and weeks and months ahead, and I don't think that the Obama administration has any right to tell Israel that the Jewish settlements cannot expand.
Even if it's Palestinian areas?
I believe that the Jewish settlement should be allowed to expand.